Hi everybody. Today we're going to take you on a pretty basic journey across my home country of Canada. And I'm going to explain a little bit of the layout so that you from Taiwan might understand what it's like here. And we'll talk about some of the major cities and a few of the colleges that you might want to consider visiting or even attending after you graduate. Okay, let's get started. Okay, now, as I am sure that you've already heard many times, especially from me here on this channel, Canada is big. It is the second largest country in the world, so it's hard to give you an idea of what the country is like without going into each little part of Canada, because it is so large. Now, we have a saying here, from coast to coast to coast. We have the Atlantic Ocean on the east coast, the Pacific Ocean on the west coast, and we have the Arctic Ocean way up top too. So you see we're bordered by three oceans and then the United States down in the south. Let's go ahead and start on the east coast with some of the provinces there. We have Newfoundland and Labrador, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and Nova Scotia. This is what we call Atlantic Canada. These are relatively smaller parts of Canada, and they each have their own sort of unique culture. Then moving inland a bit, we have the two original parts of Canada, what later Canada sort of grew into, French-speaking Quebec and English-speaking Ontario. For these areas, Quebec is, like I said earlier, French-speaking. But if you don't know French, there is a good chance that the people there will be able to understand you, especially in the city of Montreal. This is one of Canada's largest major cities, and it is very, very international. So you will have no problem speaking English. Then we're moving on to Ontario. Now, Ontario is sort of the big province in Canada. It is home to two of our major cities, Toronto and Ottawa. That's the capital of Canada. But the biggest city in Canada is Toronto. Now, it has people from everywhere. It is really a global major city, much like New York, even Taipei. Okay, let's go on to the middle part of the country, Manitoba and Saskatchewan and Alberta. These are known as the Prairie Provinces. So, Manitoba has a city called Winnipeg. Now, Winnipeg is relatively inexpensive compared to other places in Canada, but it is also known for very, very cold winters. After that, we have Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan has a capital called Regina. And then we have my home province of Alberta. Alberta is one of the least expensive places to live in Canada. It is also a very high standard of living here. Okay, then finally we go into British Columbia. This is the far western province of Canada. Now, British Columbia has Vancouver, and it also has another area, which is a little confusing, but it's called Vancouver Island. Now, Vancouver Island is roughly the size of Taiwan. So the capital city in British Columbia is on that island called Victoria. Now, many people say that Victoria is actually more British than England. This is because of its older retired population, and when Canada used to have a lot of British people, they would often retire there. So if you'd like to see something a little bit of England, go to Victoria. If you'd like to see something a little bit of France, try Quebec City or Montreal on the East Coast. All right, so that's all along the bottom part of Canada. And actually, if you take a look at the map, most of the large cities are located right along the border. However, we do have some places up north, and those are known as territories. Now, we have Yukon and the Northwest Territories, and finally, Nunavut. Now, the northern areas don't have very many people in them. They're quite sparsely populated. but the landscape there is vast, and some people really prefer it. Okay, let's get into some of the colleges and universities that we have here. These colleges offer very good programs for ESL students. Okay, we're going to start with Montreal. Even though they do speak French there, again, you can get by in English too. In fact, they have a couple of mostly English-speaking colleges, and those are Concordia University and McGill, and they offer very good programs for foreign students. And then if you were to go over to Toronto, we have, well, the University of Toronto. It is probably Canada's most famous university and one of the best in the world. Now, if you're still in the Ontario area and you want to go down to Ottawa, the big college down there is Waterloo College. They're specifically known for engineering and computers. Okay, let's go ahead and jump over to Alberta. Now, Alberta has the University of Alberta in a town called Edmonton. Now, Edmonton is one of the northernmost cities in all of North America, so the winters are a little bit cold. And then you have down south here where I live, Calgary. Calgary has the University of Calgary and the Southern Alberta Institute of Technology. Now, both of these are very accommodating and very helpful for foreign students. Okay, and finally, we're going to jump over to BC, or British Columbia. They have two really well-known colleges there as well. We have the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, and then there is also Simon Fraser University, which is in a little area just outside of Vancouver called Surrey. But most people consider that Vancouver too. Both of these colleges are world-class, and they have great opportunity with lots and lots of foreign students attending them. Now, I didn't forget Vancouver Island. They also have the University of Victoria there, which also attracts a lot of students from abroad. Okay. If you would like to attend college in Canada, you should remember that Canada is well known for offering a high level of education for relatively low cost, especially compared to places like the United States and England. Canada is really quite affordable compared to those two countries. Now, if you are an international student studying in Canada, it will cost about $20,000 to about $30,000 Canadian dollars per year. Now that might seem like a lot, but remember that this can be about 1/3 the cost of sometimes studying in America too. Okay, so you're going to be spending a lot of money. However, you get more education for your money here in Canada. Also, you can work more in Canada than you can in other countries such as England, again, and the US. Here, you're allowed to get a full-time job and work while you attend school. Now, the laws in Canada are currently changing about this, but as of now, you can still work freely as much as you want while attending school. So that can help to pay for some of your college. So if you are able to get a school job or a part-time or even a full-time job up in Canada, it can really help cut the costs of your tuition and studying. And of course, we know that education and studying abroad isn't only about going to school every day. It's about learning about the culture and enjoying the area in which you're visiting. And Canada is famous for that. And we have some of the most beautiful countryside in the entire world. So if you'd like to see the outdoors or stay in the cities, Canada offers something for every kind of person. And with that, there's your quick introduction to Canada. We will be explaining a little bit more of it as we go on, and we'll also dip down to the United States in future videos too. I hope you enjoyed today's introduction into the great country of Canada, and I hope you do get a chance to visit us soon. Until then, bye-bye.